Hello everyone and welcome to part 14 of the order block strategy. Now, in this part, we're going to talk about volume. Now, before I go anywhere, the main thing you have to realize is I have not used volume for any of my trades that I've taken to this day, and I still don't use it. I'll explain why, and I'll explain why I'm doing this video. So, the reason why I'm doing this video is because it's come up quite a lot in terms of, why we don't use volume, how can you use volume, and I'll give you guys an option should you wish to use it or not, but I personally don't, okay? The main reason why I don't, so with any indicator, okay, as far as, most of us should be aware that any indicator that we use, it lags, right? It's not true accuracy in terms of what's actually going on. And we're relying on volume to sort of show us where the buyers and sellers are, okay? In theory, where the buying pressure is, where the selling pressure is, right? What I don't understand is, and the main reason why I don't like it is the fact that this volume is based on what this broker has collected in terms of data. Okay, now in order to get true accuracy in terms of volume, that broker would have to get data from every single broker to know where the buyers and sellers are. And I can't believe that, personally for me. So with that being said, I don't feel too confident in using volume because of the accuracy. Okay, I don't feel like it gives you a good indication. However, the way I'm going to show you how to use it is going to be very generalized, but it can be quite effective if you are to use it as a complement, should you wish to use it. Okay, that's the key thing here. Should you wish to use it? So the main thing to realize is with this course is I want you guys to, try and interpret what you can from it and try and make sense of everything that you've learned here. Okay, and you can use whatever you wish in order to give you that confidence, or whatever confidence you want to use is completely up to you. Okay, all I'm showing you is how I trade using this strategy, and what I do to find the best, the higher probability trades and to trade with confidence. However, we'll get into this video, and it's completely as I said, it's completely up to you should you wish to use it. However, the way we're going to use it is, the main thing we're going to need to think about is divergence. Okay, you want to see if volume is supporting price. Okay, so what I mean by that is, say for example, volume is moving quite steadily, right? Then we have an increase in volume. Okay, and what I mean by that is you'll see a sharp rise in volume, for example, like this one, and so on, right? When this happens, anything that happens after it, right? Hold on, let me get rid of those two circles. There we go. Anything that happens afterwards is going to be a diminishment. Okay, most likely. Okay, most likely. What do I mean by that? If, for example, this is bearish volume, right? As we can see in this situation, if this is bearish volume, and what happens afterwards is, if it's diminishment, if price decides to do this, if price is, for example, starts going like this, okay, in this situation, with the volume diminishing in bearish volume and with a move that's moving bearishly, is that supported? Does the volume support the price? No, it doesn't. So it's sort of telling you, mate, there's something wrong here. Okay, something doesn't make sense. Okay, there's no logic behind this move. So what is it potentially saying is, prepare for something to happen in the market. Prepare for example, a change in trend. For example, it's not indicating that exactly. However, it's sort of telling you, just be wary, because something's off in this situation. Okay, something doesn't seem right. Okay, just bear that in mind. It's the exact same thing for a bullish move. If price, for example, is moving bullishly and you have this bullish spike in volume, and then you have a diminishment, but you still have that bullish move. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't, because there's no bullish volume to support this bullish move. So it's sort of telling you, okay, be careful, something may happen. Okay, something may happen here. For example, as we can see here, in this situation here, let me get rid of all of this. Okay, in this situation that we can see, let's just talk about this spike here. This is a random spike, okay? Now, this move, okay, yes, there's an increase in bullish volume. But then following this, there's a diminishment because of this spike that's happened. Yes, it's happened here again. I don't really know what was going on here, but it's happened here again. Now, the main thing to realize is there's going to be diminishment in bearish volume. So this, in bullish volume, sorry. So this move is true, okay? It's supported. However, because of this bearish move, there's no increase in bearish volume. So there's no support for price to go bearishly. If that's a word, I don't know, because there's no increase in bearish volume. So this move is a little bit weird in that sense. So it's basically telling you just be careful because something may happen in this situation. When you get a spike in, say for example, you're in a bullish move and you get a spike in bullish trend, yes, you will get a diminishment, but generally that happens when there's a pullback in this situation. Okay, so just bear that in mind. The main thing to take away from this is when price is approaching your POI. So in this example here, okay, this is current market price at this point. What we can see is price is moving quite heavily to the bearish side, okay? And we have this huge spike. Now for price to be supported by volume, we need to increase in bearish volume. We need volume to go like this for this move to be supported. So with that being said, and by looking at price at the moment, is this move supported? No, it's not. Yes, we have like a small increase in bearish volume. However, it needs to break this to get to support that bearish move, and that's not what's happening. So what you think about is essentially it's basically saying, you know, be wary, there could be a change in trend in this situation. Okay, and that's essentially what we're looking for because we're looking to buy from here. Let's look at an example that's already played out. Now this example we've been talking about throughout this course anyway. So in this situation, what is going on? Okay, so we basically, let's talk about this move as it approaches your POI, which is here. Okay, we have this huge bullish move, okay? And at this point, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, momentum is very bullish at the situation, okay? And if you were to look at first glance, yes, you would think that. However, you need to bear in mind from price to go from this high to this low to this high, it was a lot quicker than coming from this high to this low, okay? So just bear that in mind for momentum. However, we're not going to talk about momentum in this video. We need to think, is this move supported? And the thing is, it's not, because we have this spike in bearish volume, right? Which is here. Now, what happens next is the next candle that closes below, look where that closed. If that was a true bearish move, right, we would expect bearish volume to be up there. We would expect this to continue. But what happens is there is a diminishment, okay? And that diminishment actually continues, obviously, as we can see here, as price continues to go bullish. So, with that being said, as price is approaching our POI, it doesn't make sense for price to continue in a bearish direction because there's no increase in bearish volume. Okay? So, it's telling you basically that this move is not true. Okay? And that's essentially what happens, and that's essentially how we are using it. Same with this situation here, right? So in this situation, yes, we've got this increase in bearish volume. However, it's not enough to break that. It's still diminishment, okay, because of this spike. It's not enough bearish volume to to support a true move. However, this move from here to here, yes, that could be a true bearish move. Fair enough. Okay, because what we can see here is probably is like grab liquidity from this high and then continues. Okay, institutions may be active, I don't know. Okay, but it makes sense. It makes sense, this move. However, it's not strong enough to create a yield mass move to continue to the downside, right? Because there's no support. For it to happen, okay, we need a huge bearish move and to break that spike that was created, because this spike has still not been broken and it's still a diminishment in this situation. Okay, so anything that happens bearish is not supported. So that's the main thing you need to think about in this situation. Let's look at an example. So I didn't really take any trades recently for me to show you, and to be fair, markets have been quite quiet. But let's look at this situation. As price enters your POI here, what do we see? An increase in volume. Okay. Now anything that happens, now we're just going to look at the grey part because that's my bearish volume, because we're looking to go along. So we want to see what's happening with bearish volume, and for bullish we want to see the opposite. Okay. So in this situation, we have this increased spike in bearish volume. So what is that telling us? It's basically saying, mate, be careful, something may happen here. Okay, it's either going to continue to the downside. If it does, it's going to have to break that bearish volume, or it's going to go to the upside. Okay, we don't know at this point. However, we know that if price is going to continue bearish, we need to keep breaking this high. However, what's happening? It's struggling. There's a diminishment in volume. So for us to take a long, we have full confidence that there's no bearish volume in this market for this to happen. Yes, there could be an increase further later on. Fair enough, there would be, and there probably was, I don't know. But in this situation, as price enters your POI, you generally see a spike in volume, and then you can sort of follow price and see if that volume is supporting. So that's essentially it. In terms of volume, you basically want to see when price enters your POI, you want to see basically a spike. Whenever you see a spike, you basically expect a diminishment. Expect that. Okay. If price is going to be a supported true move, you should have a steady increase in volume. Okay. That's what you should see. For example, as you see, like a volume that's going on here in terms of bullish. Like this move, okay, let's look at this move here, from here to here, right? This is a steady, well, I would say steady, but it's an increase in bullish volume, increase in bullish move, okay? Makes sense, full logic. However, remember what I said, when you get a spike, you'll get a diminishment in bullish volume, and that's essentially what's happening. So this is all true. This is true. However, for this to be a true bearish move, there needs to be a full increase in bearish volume. However, we don't really have that because the bullish volume is still there's still more bullish volume in this situation, okay? And we're probably still having a diminishment in terms of the bearish volume overall. I mean, if you look from here, bearish volume is still diminishing, okay? And it makes sense because we're in a bullish market, so bearish volume, you should expect it to be diminishing, okay? So if you're looking for a bullish move, you want to see a diminishment in bearish volume. If you're looking for a bearish move, you want to see a diminishment in bullish volume. Let me try to find an example. I think I should get one set. I think there's a short on this pair. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry. I think there's a short. What was there? Bear with me. Okay, let's go to this example. Let's just check here for example. No, that doesn't make sense. I want to find a clear example for you guys. Oh gosh, why have I done that? Sorry. Apologies. Oh no. Apologies, I didn't mean to do that. Let's add this back on. There we go. Okay, so let's look at this for example. So we're overall in a bullish move. Okay, now let's look at let's see what's happening here. So in this situation, we had, I don't know what I marked up here to be honest, but I'm not going to explain entries in this situation because you should have already understood entries. We just want to see if this is supported. There we go. Apologies, it took so long to get here. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. All right, so we're going to follow our two rules in this situation. Okay, we have an impulse, successful retrace, and so on. Okay, price continues to break. Now we basically want to see is if price is supporting the move. Okay, if volume is supporting price, and essentially what we can see here, now this is quite subtle, this one, but we can see a spike in bullish volume. Okay, and when that happens, we know there's going to be a diminishment in bullish volume. Okay, what's that telling us? That any bullish move that we have is not true in this situation. So this move here that we have, this whole bullish move, it won't make sense, because if it does, if it was to make sense, we should have an increase in bullish volume, but that's not what's happening. There's still a diminishment. So we've had that spike as prices into this POI, okay? So it makes sense for us to start looking for shorts in this situation, okay? And essentially what you do when you come to your entries is you want to see is all you want to look for is a spike and see whether price supports it or not, okay? So in this situation, for these moves to be true bullish moves, okay, because these are just pullbacks in this situation. It's not the cleanest price action in here, to be honest. That looks better, to be fair. That looks better. So, but the volume, there's no real spike in this situation. It's a bit more subtle. Okay, actually, I'll go back to the one there. Let's go to here. Okay, so essentially, you want to see that is volume supporting price, and if it is, then fair enough, that's a true move. Okay, if it's not, however, then it's fair enough for you to think that something is wrong in the market, something is happening. Let's have a look at this bullish spike, this bearish spike that's happened here. There's a spike in bearish volume, right? And let's see what's actually happened. We had a break of structure here. So in this situation, and ignore the time frame, ignore the overall bias in this situation, we're just going to follow volume. We have this, where's the recent high? Is going to be here. Okay, impulse and successful retrades, fair enough. Okay, we can look for a long in this situation. Is that supported? Yes, because price, let's look at the next candle. So this one, then this one. Generally when you get a bigger pullback, it gives you more sense, but in this situation, that bearish move, that pullback, is not supported. So if you were to look for a long from here, it would make sense. Why? Because this pullback does not make sense. Okay, it's got no, this is just a pullback. It's not a true bearish move. But like this one here, what we can see is a bearish move here, increase in bearish volume. And let's see, does it carry on? Does it take over? Yes, it does. Because if you see here, increase in bearish volume, and it overtakes that spike that's happened. So this bearish move is supported. It makes sense. So if you were to look for a counter trend in this situation here, it will make sense, because when you get a spike, okay, the next candle, for it to be a true bearish move, this volume would have to surpass it. However, that's not what's happened. Okay, it's closed below. So this move does not make sense. So if you were to look for a long in this situation, you have full confidence and confluence to take it. So that's essentially it with volume. There isn't really much more to it. Okay, you just want to look for so all you want to look for is you want to look for a spike in volume, and then expect, okay, that's the main thing, expect a diminishment, okay, and then let's say that this is bearish volume, okay, spike in bearish volume. If price is moving bearishly, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it does not make sense. Okay, when you get a spike into your POI, just be wary that something may happen. Okay, same thing for bullish. Okay, exactly the same thing. In a bullish situation, you want to look for this, but if you get a spike in bullish volume and you have still a bullish continuation move, it doesn't make sense. So be aware, be alert, and be aware that something may happen in this situation. Now, again, what I want to finish off with is it's completely up to you. Should you wish to use volume or not? As mentioned, I don't use volume myself, and I haven't done to this date, and I still don't. Okay, but this is just a confluence. Should you wish to use it? Okay, should you wish to use it? So what I suggest doing, if you want to use it, go ahead and backtest your entries and see. It could give you that confidence and confidence behind taking certain trades and so on. Some of you may like it, but just bear in mind that there is a lag with volume and it's not accurate. Okay, just bear that in mind. However, it does give you a generalized idea of volume and whether price is supporting volume or not. Okay, so just bear that in mind. But for now, I'll leave you guys be, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video.